You think the London Underground is just old tunnels and older trains. It's not. It's a machine locked in a permanent fight with water, and it's losing a little every single day. Something has to hold that water back, or the whole thing floods. Here's the part most people get wrong. London wasn't built next to its rivers. It was built on top of them. The Fleet, the Tyburn, the Walbrook, the Effra, dozens of streams that once ran across the surface were covered over as the city grew, and they still flow underground today, right through tube territory. So why does that matter for a train network? Because the underground sits inside London's water table. Water is constantly trying to get in, through those old river channels, through the ground itself, and through cracks in tunnel linings that are, in some stretches, well over a century old. So what actually stops it? Pumps. Dozens of pumping stations are built into the system, commonly sited at around 100 of them, running continuously. They pull groundwater out of the tunnels and shafts and push it into the sewer network or back out into the Thames. And here's the part that gets me. Some stations are literally named for the rivers buried beneath them, and crews still deal with those rivers face to face. At Sloane Square, the River Westbourne runs through a huge pipe right above the platform. You can stand there and watch a buried river pass over your head. But not every line fights the same battle. The deep tube lines, Piccadilly, Northern, Central, were bored through London clay, a dense layer that keeps most water out. The shallower subsurface lines, the Circle, District, and Metropolitan, sit in wetter ground and deal with far more water coming in. And this isn't a solved problem. Historic flooding has hit the network hard enough to shut stations down for repairs. The Underground's own engineers have flagged heavier, more intense rainfall as a growing risk for a system that was designed around the rainfall patterns of a very different era. Groundwater isn't even the only threat. Storm surges coming up the Thames are a separate danger, managed downstream by the Thames barrier. What that tells you is that London's flood defense isn't one wall, it's a layered system, working at different points, all at once. And none of it gets any credit. This is deeply unglamorous infrastructure. Nobody holds a ribbon cutting for a pump that's quietly run since the 1900s. It only becomes news when it fails. So here's my take. The Underground isn't just old, it's a system permanently at war with the water table it was dug through. The trains only run because thousands of gallons an hour are being hauled out of the ground, constantly. And most riders standing on a platform have no idea they're standing above a buried river being actively held back. Mind the gap and mind the water.